Mr. Hill, what has television given you?
Well, nervous dyspepsia, indigestion, heartburn, all sorts of things like that, you know.
For decades, the Benny Hill Show topped TV screens, entertaining viewers with its quick-fire slapstick, suggestive gags, and that now-iconic theme tune. Benny Hill was a comedy icon, his cheeky smile and exaggerated shenanigans winning hearts worldwide. But behind the incessant giggles and classic sketches, bad things were quietly bubbling beneath the surface. One of the show's most contentious sketches would soon galvanize a reaction so fierce it would spell the demise of the popular series. Something intended as comedy gold would spark a cultural firestorm, one that revealed deeper-seated problems and ultimately resulted in the show's cancellation. Here, we reveal the infamous moment that shook everything and dig into the secret controversy that brought the Benny Hill Show to its knees. The Benny Hill Show amused millions across the globe from its launch in 1955 until it was removed from the television schedule in 1989. One scene, however, is frequently referred to as a major factor leading up to the show's eventual demise. Although the Benny Hill Show had consistently been on the edge of what was acceptable when it came to humor, a sketch broadcast during the late 1980s particularly raised an eyebrow. The episode in question included Hill in a mock beauty pageant, where women were ogled and objectified wearing skimpy clothing. The skit led to an especially crude and tasteless joke that was widely offensive to many viewers and critics. This was a period when public sensibilities and attitudes towards humor were evolving. Something that was previously regarded as cheeky and innocent fun was starting to be considered old-fashioned and offensive. The notorious sketch triggered these criticisms, placing the subject on the center stage of public discourse. However, did such a beloved comedy show end in such a catastrophic fashion? What went wrong? To understand that, let us look into the life of the person behind the program. Early life: Alfred Hawthorne Hill, more popularly referred to by his pen name Benny Hill, was born on January 21st, 1924, in Southampton, Hampshire, England. It is not entirely clear, however, whether he was born in the year 1924 or 1925, with some referring to 1925 as his birth year. His family history is very interesting, specifically because of the artistic bent of his predecessors. His father, Alfred Hill, ran a surgical appliance shop. This was a break from the entertainment heritage of the family, since his grandfather, Henry Hill, had been a circus clown. Performance and entertainment heritage impacted Benny Hill's later career choice. His mother, Helen, was also a major influence during his early years. Benny Hill went to school in Taunton School in Southampton. His schooling there did not directly enter him into the field of entertainment. Rather, Hill's early life was characterized by a range of odd jobs that were not show business related. He was employed at Woolworths, where he gained his first experience in the working world. He then had jobs which demonstrated his versatility and capacity to learn new types of work. He was a milkman, a bridge operator, a driver, and even a drummer. Hill's varied early working experiences informed the variety of characters and situations that he would later portray in his comedy. His entrance into show business as an assistant stage manager for a touring revue marked the start of his lifelong work in show business. The experience as assistant stage manager gave him invaluable knowledge of the backstage operations of the theatrical productions, stage management, timing, and coordination, skills that would be of immense value in his subsequent television work. In 1942, at the peak of World War II, Alfred Hawthorne Hill, otherwise known as Benny Hill, was conscripted for military service. He was a mechanic trained in the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, a part of the British Army that maintained, repaired, and recovered electrical and mechanical equipment. The technical training equipped Hill with skills that were not only applicable during the war, but also helped him be a resourceful and good problem solver later in his career. Hill's military career involved him playing several roles. First trained as a mechanic, he was also a truck driver and searchlight operator. His deployment in Normandy in September 1944 put him at the center of one of the most pivotal moments of the war. The The Normandy campaign was decisive in the Allied liberation of Western Europe from German occupation. Hill's work as a truck driver and mechanic would have been to service and drive the vehicles needed for moving troops and supplies, and as a searchlight operator, his work would have been assisting in defense against enemy air raids by lighting up targets to enable anti-aircraft gunners to aim at them. Hill shifted to the Combined Services Entertainment Division prior to the end of the war. The CSE had the task of entertaining British and Allied troops, raising morale through comedy performances by actors, musicians, and other performers. This exposure played an important role in preparing Hill for a career in show business. Hill developed his performance skills while in the CSE, learning how to entertain and communicate with an audience in all types of conditions. This atmosphere provided the platform for him to play around with comedy, timing, and presentation, vital tools that would make him a success on television later. Inspired by the star comedians of music hall shows in Britain, a common source of entertainment in Britain in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Benny Hill was greatly influenced. Music hall performances were typically composed of a variety of acts featuring comedy, song, dance, and magic. The big, larger-than-life characters and farcical styles of music hall comedians were a lasting influence upon Hill. Desperate to find his place in the entertainment world, Hill took on the stage name Benny as a tribute to his favorite comedian, Jack Benny, an American radio, television, and film actor of impeccable comic timing and deadpan delivery. Equipped with the ideas of the music hall comedians and the street savvy of his experience in the CSE, Hill embarked on establishing himself in the business of show. Early career Benny Hill's initial big break was via radio, the leading entertainment medium of the times. He first appeared on the highly popular radio series Variety Bandbox on October 5, 1947. The variety show was an esteemed platform for music and comedy performers, and Hill's addition marked a change in direction for his early career. His quick wit and versatile comedy timing soon impressed listeners and paved the way for his ascendancy in show business. Hill's success in radio soon led to television, which was quickly becoming popular and culturally dominant. He first appeared on television in 1950. The addition of a visual element provided Hill with expanded creative latitude, allowing him to include physical humor and visual jokes that became hallmarks of his work. These initial television appearances set the stage for a highly productive and long-lasting career in the format. In 1962, Hill played the lead role in a sitcom series called Benny Hill, which had a two-season run through 1963. In this show, he played a different character every episode, showcasing his range and versatility as a comedian. The show's format made it possible for Hill to try out various personas and sketch scenarios, further solidifying his status as an inventive and imaginative performer. By 1964, Hill had broadened his repertoire even more with an unexpected foray into classical theater. In that year, he played Nick Bottom in a television production of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. The star-studded production included several prominent actors, allowing Hill to demonstrate his dramatic skills while still drawing upon comedy. As Bottom, the inherently comic Bottom, Hill was able to blend his comic sensibility with good stagecraft, uncovering new depths of skill in his performances. From 1964 to 1966, Hill returned to radio with a show entitled Benny Hill Time on the BBC Radio Light program. The show ran for 3 series and was notable for its topical and satirical comedy. Hill was keenly observant of contemporary issues and fashions, which he skillfully incorporated into his sketches. A highlight from March 1964 spoofed James Bond In From Moscow with Love, highlighting Hill's ability to satirize popular culture. His humorous observations on the Beatles and other leading figures of the day only served to enhance his popularity. In Benny Hill Time, Hill gave life to a range of recurring characters, including such audience favorites as Harry Hill and Fred Scuttle. These actors became iconic elements in his world of comedy. Harry Hill, the bumbling everyman, and Fred Scuttle with his over-the-top mannerisms and odd speech. With these characters, Hill dipped into a wide range of comedic topics and tropes, further establishing his reputation as a multifaceted entertainer. These characters not only showcased Hill's versatility as an actor, but also made him likable to a wide audience by offering recurring characters that fans could rely on and look forward to. Benny Hill experienced many difficulties during his early years. Although gifted and ambitious, Hill had trouble establishing a firm place on the stage, where his performances were met with mixed critiques. Although talented and ambitious, Hill had difficulty establishing a firm grasp of the stage, where his appearances were met with mediocre reception. The Benny Hill Show. Benny Hill's career in the entertainment industry started on the radio, a prevailing medium of the day that dazzled crowds throughout Britain. But his early years of success on the airwaves were anything but unblemished. Hill's career in radio was a sequence of highs and lows. His shows sometimes resonated with audiences, while others merely failed to stick. Even so, this nascent stage was crucial to helping Hill develop his comedic sensibilities. It was here, during these trial-and-error years, that he cultivated a tough spirit and refined his comedic approach, combining quick wit with flair for the ridiculous. But it wasn't until he made the switch to television that Benny Hill finally got to see legs and stardom. On January 15, 1955, The Benny Hill Show debuted on the BBC, the star a Hall of Fame television career spanning many years. From the very start, the show stood out with a distinctive format based on the rich heritage of British music hall entertainment. It mixed live stage sketches with pre-filmed sequences, a mixture that provided Hill with plenty of scope to exercise his creative muscles. His comedy style, based so extensively on slapstick, double entendres, parody, and sight gags, soon won over an immense number of viewers. Hill's comedic universe was made possible partly through his regular collaborators. Among the BBC years, a pool of regular talented actors brought his sketches to life. Patricia Hayes, Jeremy Hawke, Peter Vernon,